Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook. Well, hey, everybody. J-Mac the Bearded One here with you tonight. I'm joined tonight by mystery guest. Not sure where he came from. Came out of the back end of somewhere. Coming out with his new alias. Usually goes by Chris. Tonight he is going by Phil McCracken. What's up, Sir Phil McCracken?
I forgot that was on there. Hi, everybody.
And of course, joined tonight by Big B. Big B, what's going on, man?
Not much. Got done with work. I got the invite to jump on, so let's get it going.
All right, and just to give everyone an update, I told you I'd keep you updated on it. Sarge will be back with us on Monday. He has told me that he made the commitment to be back on Monday. So Monday should be a great show. I don't know if Big B can get on, but we'll see if he can. And if he can, there may be 5 of us for the first time on the show.
I think anytime I'm on, there's always 5 of us.
You think so?
Oh, my size. I'm just
gotcha.
making fun of myself.
Gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. No, I think because I think Monday we have Mess Around, who's now a staple on Monday, and we'll have Sarge back. Of course, Chris and I will be here, and we will have Big B possibly. So we'll see what happens on Monday. All right, where should we start tonight, guys? You guys got anything you want to talk about tonight?
Oh, how about last night's big game in L.A. with the Cubs?
Yeah.
Mr. No showed up.
The combined no-hitter, so the 7th official no-hitter of the season, the 8th if you count Mad Bum.
We count it.
So we got 8 by our tally here at Coast to Coast. 8 no-hitters
That's
in
all
the
that
season.
matters.
8 no-hitters in a season. Now, as long as we've been watching baseball, I gotta say, I never thought I'd see this with 8 no-hitters in a season. Did you ever think you'd see something like this, Big B?
The no-hitters are tough to come by. I mean, 5 is probably a good for a season, but 8 right now, I mean, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it's the first one since, they're checking everything.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The first one since they started checking.
I know. We were gonna go to that next, so we'll talk about that next. How long until a pitcher just drops trowel right in the middle of the freaking field?
It already happened.
I'm talking I know that he opened
going
his
butt
pants,
naked?
but I'm talking just drops them, right there, here, check everything.
Romo's already done that, so I mean, he would have to strip down to his birthday suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found it funny. Did you guys find it funny the other day that the Nationals were messing with were messing with Bryce Harper, and
I thought it was the Phillies.
Well, he plays for the Phillies. So it was the Nationals that were messing with Bryce Harper, and they, as a joke, of course, sent the umpires out there, and it's like that scene from Major League 3, the umpires are out there going through his hair and doing all this and checking for sticky stuff in his hair, and he's doing the whole, look, it's real, it's no sticky stuff. It's like a scene right out of Major League 3.
Yeah.
So that was quite interesting, and I'll tell you. Do you think that sports stars can get a label? And I'll explain. But do you think that once you do a thing a couple times, that maybe next time it doesn't take as much to get the same result? And if you're curious what I'm talking about is Bryce Harper again. And I'm not a Bryce Harper fan, obviously, because he's a Philly and I'm a Braves fan. But I think they gave him the hook a little too soon the other day. He hit a ball that was right down the line on first base. And it honestly could have gone either way. It could have been fair or foul, depending on where you're standing at as the umpire. You really could have called it either way. He called it foul. I mean, Harper didn't really say anything. He's just like, oh my God, okay, all right, and walks back to the plate, and then grounds out to second base on the next pitch.
Okay.
Obviously, that made him a little upset because he thought from his point it could have been fair. So he walks towards the first base umpire. And the hot mics are in place, I've watched the video a few times, and all he says to the first base umpire is, "Can we please talk about the play?" And he asks nicely and everything, just like that. "Can we please talk about it?" The umpire says, "No, Harper, I'm not talking to you. Get off my field. Go to your dugout." And he's like, "Why don't you just be a professional and talk to me, man? I'm not trying to start anything. I just want to talk about like what you saw, where you saw it from. You know, I saw it hit the chalk, but you know, can we just talk about it?" And the guy's like, "No, take one more step." And Harper was like, "Well, why don't you just be an effing professional and effing talk to me?" And then they gave him the hook, and he's like, "Well, that's it. You're gone. Out of here." And maybe he didn't have to use the profanity, honestly, in that situation, but all he did was ask him to talk to him about the play. I don't really think he meant any harm, or his intent wasn't to yell at him or tell him he was wrong. He just wanted to talk about what the umpire saw. So do you think that players like that already have a problem with umpires or have had a problem in the past can get a reputation, and then it's just quicker every time? They're just like, "Nope, not taking it, not taking it, not taking it."
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you remember a couple of years ago in the NFL, like Clay Matthews had a couple roughing the passer calls that were like, really?
Oh, yeah.
What is he supposed to do in that case? And it felt like he was just getting flagged on every time he touched the quarterback with his pinky. It was roughing the passer, and you're like, what is this? Like, no other guys are getting called for this.
Yeah.
The one that still gets me in the NFL is how what's the word I'm looking for? How intermittently, that's the word. Intermittently, defensive hands to the face is called. So, you know, when the defensive players are going up on the offensive players and they put their hands in their face, it's not called every time, and it's not called consistently. It seems like it's only called when it's a big moment in the game, like when it affects the play, which I kind of get, but you need to make that more consistent. If you're going to make that a penalty, it's got to be a penalty all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What's your take on that, Big B? What do you think?
Yeah, it's got to be consistent. I mean, we all know there's holding on every play by both sides. It's never called, or it's not called enough. So, yeah, that's another penalty that should be called, but it's not.
Yeah, and again, I just want consistency. I'm not asking you to not call it. I'm asking you to just call it consistently. Like, every time you see it, it's got to be called. It's an interesting, it's kind of like leaping on a field goal, you know? Like, you're calling leaping on when they blocked it. It just seems like it's always called at the wrong time. And I don't know. And I think that it's gotten way too far from what it used to be. They used to let them play a lot. They used to let them hand check and stuff for the ball, and now it's like interference is called on every – quarterbacks don't throw the ball long unless someone's offsides or they're going to get an interference call. They throw the ball long because it doesn't matter what happens on the play. I think that's a foregone thing in the NFL. It's more of a slant pattern, you know, a quick check down. That's why we've seen percentages go up as far as completions to attempt rate. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting, the different things we could talk about. I want Chris to take his couple of minutes to talk about his indoor football league and how well that's going. So why don't you give us an update on that, Chris?
They did a few games today. I think they did one game where the Arizona Rattlers won their game in a close match. I have to see the score, but I think it was the only game that was on tonight. So, and I think there's a few more tomorrow evening.
Okay. Let's go. Let's see if there's any W in. Well, let's go NHL hockey first. How about the Lightning finishing out the Islanders 4-3? They win the series 4-3. They beat them 1-0 tonight. So you're gonna see now the Lightning back in the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. There's a chance to be defend their championship and try to win 2 in a row. What do you think their chances are of actually pulling that off?
30%.
I think they got a good shot. I mean, they're tough. I mean, you got to give it up to the Islanders for coming back after that beating they took the other night, 8-0, and then beating them in Game 6 to force a Game 7. So
I completely agree, but I mean they are going to face the Montreal Canadiens.
Yep.
So who's got the advantage? Let's put it out there right now, and we'll talk about it as it comes on the show. I want you guys to each give me your pick. How many games and who wins? We'll start with you, Chris.
Tampa Bay in 4.
You think they're going to sweep them in 4?
I think so.
Wow.
Okay. Big B.
Are they starting in Tampa Bay?
I would have to check on that. Give me 1 second to look at that, where they're starting, because I do think that would have something to do with it. June 28th will be Game 1, and June 28th will take place in Tampa Bay. Yes.
Okay. So if I remember right, they go 2-3.
2-3-2.
1-1, right?
Well,
2-3-2 like baseball. Okay.
It's 2-3-2 like baseball. Yeah.
I'll go Tampa Bay in 6.
And I would have went Tampa Bay in 6 as well. So I think that Tampa Bay will win it in 6 games. And Shardel Gupta, who's with us, Shradel, I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. He says, or they say, Tampa Bay in 6. And Isaiah from the MI6, thanks for watching, man. He says Canadians in 7. Give me the upset.
Ooh.
So we got everyone going Tampa Bay, but we got Isaiah with the Canadians, and I don't even know what team Isaiah roots for anymore because he went on that vacation.
Oh, we never know.
And I mean, he was all over the map, so I'm not real sure. Let's look at, like I said, WNBA. Let's see who played tonight. The Minnesota Lynx played the Las Vegas Aces, and as we know, Aces team on the network is the Aces. Kind of, that's crazy, a little crazy there. And we know that Brandon's team is Minnesota, but Minnesota came out on top 90-89 tonight against the Las Vegas Aces. That brings the Lynx back to 7-7, and they're third in the West now.
Okay.
If they play right there for the rest of the year, they got 18 games left. Say they win 11 out of the next 18, which would put them about 18-14 for the season. That will probably be right there for third or fourth in the West. Do you think that the Lynx can make a run in the playoffs?
Ooh. They finished that strong, possibly. Because we all know going to the playoffs it's a new season, but the hot teams typically are going to be strong. So if the Lynx can finish, like you said, 11 more wins, yeah, they could possibly make a statement in the playoffs.
Okay, all right. And let's look at this real quick. So that was the games tonight. Now, if we look at the standings overall, I think, and we go who's winning. So, who would you think right now, without looking, either one of you, who would you think's winning the East? Who's been the best team in the East?
I got him. What? Seattle? No, Seattle's in the West, right?
Yep, Seattle's in the West.
Okay. trying to picture it if I've looked at it.
So, so I'll give you the teams in the East, and you tell me which one you think's in first place. You got Connecticut, you got Chicago, Washington, New York, Atlanta, and Indiana.
Oh, no, Indiana's not, because I know they're like 1 win.
Chicago.
Yeah, I'll go with Chicago.
Chicago is actually in second place in the East. The Connecticut Sun is in first place.
Okay.
They're 9-5 right now. They're 6-1 at home. So they've only lost one home game this year. But the Chicago Sky, it's interesting you brought them up because they were near the bottom. They were 2-7. They're now 9-7. They've won 7 consecutive games, and they're making a run. So what do you guys think of that? I mean, they are on a tear right now, and they've done it mostly on the road. By the way, they only have 3 wins at home. So
That's not good.
They're 6-2 on the road.
Okay.
And then in the West, and like you said, I mean, you have the Indiana Fever that's 1-15.
Yeah.
1-15. They have lost 11 consecutive games. And they only have, they're halfway through the season. Do you think that they win more than 5 games this year?
No.
Yeah, that's got to be a hard no.
I'd have to look it up to see what the worst record is all time in the WNBA, but I got to think they might set it this year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. And then you got the Seattle Storm that's 12-4 in the West. And here's the thing about the Seattle Storm. They're 5-3 at home. But that's right. They're 5-3 at home. They're 12-3 overall. So what does that mean? They're 7-0 away on the road.
That's
they have
scary.
not lost a road game this year. That is scary. That's more scary to me than being undefeated at home because you're supposed to win home games.
Yep.
You're not supposed to go undefeated on the road. So, that's pretty scary if you're looking to think about that right now. To see them at 7-0 on the road. Real quick, we'll touch on the WNBA. The Milwaukee Bucks came out and destroyed the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Do you think that little shimmy by Trae Young out there, that kind of set Milwaukee off, I think, and they were out to prove a point tonight. The Hawks didn't even keep it close, by the way, if anyone's curious. It's a wire-to-wire win for the Bucks. They won 125-91.
Ooh.
They destroyed the Hawks. So
So the closest it was 0-0?
Yeah. Yeah, or probably, 2-0, 3-0, something like that would probably been the closest it ever was.
Wow.
And all I'm saying is, Trae Young, maybe you stop doing that little shimmy before you shoot a 3 because you're going to get your team destroyed. I don't think Antetokounmpo took too kindly to that. So,
No.
let's touch
Well, that's good for Milwaukee. I mean, it'd be nice to see them in the finals.
Yeah. So, we had been talking about how bad a couple teams were in Major League Baseball. So,
Yeah, we have.
we have. And I remember that we had some teams with historically bad, by the way. And Callan McClurg, we thanks for watching. He said, I feel so bad for the Fever and the Diamondbacks. I'm glad he mentioned the Diamondbacks because we're about to talk about them. Now, the Baltimore Orioles, they are 24-52. 78 games into the season, they've lost 52 games. That's not as bad as it sounds until you look at the runs against.
Okay.
They have given up 408 runs in 78 games.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
That is almost 6 runs a game. And their differential, they are negative 114. I mean,
Wow.
those are full season stats, and you're already there. If you're Baltimore, it's really bad. I mean, just by comparison, the Rangers are not that great. They're 28 and 48, but their run differential is minus 72. You're talking a 40 run difference. That's insane. So, yes, the Baltimore Orioles are still bad. It's still bad. If you're a Baltimore fan. Then we go to the National League side. And if you're a Pirates fan, things aren't getting better for you either. They're 28 and 46. So 74 games in, and they've only won 28 games. And they've given up 351 runs for a differential of minus 89. And then we come to the Diamondbacks, who finally won a road game. However,
Oh, they did.
They finally won a road game. However,
Uh-oh.
they went back and they lost 2 straight again. So they're now 1-9 in their last 10 games, and they have now lost 17 of their last 18 baseball games.
Poor Arizona.
And they have lost 24 of their last 25 games on the road. Away from home, let's see what it has them at. I mean, 21 and 55 overall for the season. And it's so bad. I mean, it's so bad. You got teams that are saying that it's like a batting practice day when they're playing the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
That is bad. When you're saying that.
I mean, I just think the one game that doesn't count for them as a no-hitter is their biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: do you think they should trade away Escobar? Escobar has
We talk about the Escobar that used to play for the Twins.
Edwin Escobar or Eduardo Escobar. Eduardo, yeah.
Okay.
He's hitting 242 this year, but he has 16 homers and 46 RBIs. That leads the team by a lot. The next closest guy to him in home runs is Rojas, who has 9. He's almost doubled up the team in home runs. RBIs, the next closest guy to him is Peralta with 36. They just are not driving in runs. That's their problem right now. But their pitching staff is worse. You want to talk about a team with a bad pitching staff? You want to know why they are 21 and 55 the way they are? Even Madison Bumgarner, who threw that no-hitter, is 4-5, and his ERA is 5.73.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
have Kelly
Too high.
pitching for them, who's 3-7, and his ERA is 5.06. This is their starting rotation. Peacock is 2-5, and his ERA is 5.28. Then you go to Frankoff, who started 8 games for them this year. His ERA is 9.21.
Yeah, it sounds like Escobar's going to be the only one worth trading for.
Definitely.
And he can play everywhere.
And he can play everywhere. Their top pitcher right now, as far as ERA goes, they have Caleb Smith out of their bullpen, and Caleb Smith is 2-3, and his ERA is 3.03. So he's the only one bringing that ERA back to earth. They're dead last.
Yeah, but being a reliever, that ain't much.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying he's the one bringing it down.
Yeah.
looking at this right now, they have 4 pitchers on their pitching staff on their team that have an ERA over 7.
Wow.
Think about how crazy that is. You got 4 guys that have an ERA over 7. It's crazy. And the Giants are probably the surprise team of the year to me. They're 49-26. They lead the National League in wins at 49-26. They have a run differential of plus 101. So they are playing very, 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 very good baseball right now. Any last words on baseball, Big B or Chris, before we go into rapid fire?
I agree with you with San Fran being a big surprise. And to be a homer for a quick second, the Twins are surprising that they're not doing a lot better. So, but that's all I got for baseball.
Sounds like they need help. A lot of help.
Chris, anything?
Yeah, it sounded like they need a lot of help.
Who were we talking about? The Diamondbacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Chris, you ready to go first in rapid fire?
I'm ready.
Okay. What would you do with your 15 minutes of fame?
Tell a lot of jokes.
Tell a lot of jokes. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you'd want to be a stand-up comedian. Hey, that's awesome. Describe the perfect kiss in 3 words.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. What is your biggest addiction?
Soda.
Soda. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Big B, you got 3 questions. Are you ready?
Oh, sure.
Where would you go if you were invisible?
Well, we are late night, so I could say something. I mean, but I'll keep it PG. Invisible, God, that's. I guess I would go into like my boss's office and listen to him talk about people, in meetings or something,
Yeah,
like
there
a
you
work
go.
meeting.
That's a good one. Who is one person you've met that you wish you never did?
Ooh. Celebrity or like friends?
It doesn't matter, whoever.
Does it? I'll go with this guy I went to school with, Adam. Nice guy, but you can't really trust him, I would say.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's give you. If you were stranded on a tropical island, what 2 items would you take with you?
Whew. Man, that's tough. Well, I would have to take the wife, I guess. And then,
The wife, I guess. That one came with it, I guess, at the end.
I guess my fishing pole, because I would have to do some fishing to get some food.
Okay.
So,
I would
your
have
wi- You're right. That one was straight up like my fishing pole. The first one was my wife, I guess. All right, that ends rapid fire. Thanks for doing that tonight, guys. Thanks for joining me. You will see me maybe on Sports Minute tomorrow. If I get out of work in time, we'll see what happens. You'll see Big B on Sunday on You Think You Know, Family Feud style. MI6 versus Coast to Coast, C2C. And
Yep, it's
real
going to be
quick-
2-on-2. They got 2 guys for us, so.
Real quick, I want to give a shout out to K&A Custom Crafts. You've seen their ads on here. So they sent me a mug with my name on it. They did this really cool design. I asked them to do kind of a backup design for Coast to Coast, C2C, Coast to Coast on it. They did that for us. They also did some camping trip things for me. So it's Family Camping Trip 2021 on the front and Coast to Coast on the back. Pretty awesome stuff from them. Thanks to K&A Custom Crafts. We couldn't do without you guys. We got all their information. If you need to order anything, hit us up, and I got all the information for them. One of us will get it to you. But I want to thank you both for coming on tonight. This has been the Four Bros Radio Show, brought to you by J-Mac, the Bearded One. I was joined with Chris and Big B. Have a good night, guys. Thanks very much, and we will see you on the other side.